Over to you, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie. So I'm Rob, trustee, like you say, for Stargardt's Connected, and also in my day job, equipment advisor. I think that's the official title. And that is everything from really, really simple stuff to really, the top end AI stuff now, glasses and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to go through a few of those things today. And I'm going to start with what I refer to as low tech. So really simple, low tech ideas that might help in everyday living. And I do mean really low tech. So I'm just going to find my keyboard, and I'm going to should be able to switch cameras, and you can see virtually nothing now. What I have here is a camera looking down, and it's looking at actually a tray. So if you're making a drink, very simple idea: get a plastic tray, make your drink on the tray. So anything that you spill stays on the tray, doesn't go all over the side. If you put a paper towel over it, or on it, a kitchen towel, then obviously that absorbs a bit as well, just makes it a little bit easier. When I'm making a drink, I don't use things like liquid level indicators. I don't use those because I think they're expensive and just a bit of a cash cow for R&IB. I'm still old school and look at what I'm doing, but I look, hang on, let's switch back. I'll keep my hand on that to switch back. If I'm doing a drink, I will do it very slow. I've just got a glass here. I will look across the glass so I could watch the drink coming up the side rather than look down on it, because obviously with Stargardt, your depth perception is a bit rubbish, shall we say. So just some simple ideas there to do that. We'll swap back. Other things, obviously, you'll be aware of all this sort of stuff. Bump-ons, very good idea to mark things up if you need to mark anything. I've actually, whoops, where's that camera going? I've got a very dodgy setup for an overhead camera. Bump-on's very good. I've just used two today to mark up the keyboard because I need to switch between the two cameras. So I just thought I'd stick a bump on each key. I don't have to worry about looking. I can just put my hand out and feel where the bumps are and do the keyboard switch. So you can use them for anything. Lots of people use them for, what do they use them for? Washing machines, actually very common. Mark up your washing machine so you know where all the, when you're turning the dial, everything lines up. Cookers, well, depends. Hobs, not so good because you're always cleaning them. They clean off quite easily, but they are useful on things like that. Microwaves actually can be useful. There's a tip for microwaves we'll do a bit later, if I remember, when we get to smartphones and stuff. I was going to say, so bump-ons, they're very useful. Actually, if you peel them off and turn them upside down and stick them on the bottom of something, they make very good feet for anything that's hard going on a polished surface, to protect the polished surface. I've got them on. Some of the stuff behind me has little bump-ons on the bottom so it doesn't scratch the dresser behind me. So it's a very simple idea that you can do there. So we'll get rid of the bump-ons. If you're writing, like I say, we'll spin through these things quite quickly. I'll just find the bumps and go back. A writing frame. Okay, so a very simple idea. It's basically two pieces of card. One has slots cut in it. Is that opening the right way around? Have I got the cameras the right way? Sort of. You put your page in it, you close it up, and then you write in the lines. It keeps your text straight and even. The other thing you do along with that is you use a felt pen. Now these are just standard barrel felt pens. I've borrowed them from work, and we just buy them off the R&IB in packs of 12 at a time. But any stationery will sell them in any colour you want. Both of these happen to be black ink. The one with the pale tip is the thinner of the two. So you've got a broad tip and a pale tip, and the pale tip is the thinner of the two. And you pick the one that you like, and you just, well, actually you don't write, you print. You go back to printing because that's easier to read. So a saying we have at work is bigger, bolder, brighter. So you do that, you just write a little bit bigger, bolder, and nice high contrast as well. And these frames, this again, R&IB, they come in, that's an A5 one, and then there's a bigger A4 one, obviously. Now you can obviously just do lists with them, or shopping lists, telephone numbers, anything you want to write down. But there's nothing to stop you opening this up and putting an envelope in there, and then just writing the address on the envelope. So it could be used as an envelope guide. There's nothing to stop you doing that. So you can do that sort of thing with it. What else could you do with it? Birthday cards. You open the birthday card up, you might have to turn it backwards or put it in the wrong way round and maybe turn this over, and then write someone's details for the birthday card, happy birthday to Mary or something like that. And again, it keeps it nice and neat and straight. So very simple little ideas. Have we got any other simple little ideas? No, that's it really. Oh, torches. Actually, another thing I do all the time, so I carry a torch with me. Now, normally it's this red metal one is mine. These are very simple. Supermarkets sell them. And that red one actually came from a camping shop. I was on holiday and I saw it in the camping shop. It's very good. You press the end of it and the side lights up. This one has 2 levels of brightness on it, and then it also flashes red because it came from a camping shop, so it's an emergency light. This one, I think, just came from a supermarket. So this cheap plastic one is just from a supermarket. That's about £3.50 for the plastic one. I think the metal one was a tenner. It's on and off. Both of them just take AAA batteries. Actually, I'm talking really quickly, aren't I? I've just realised. Both of them take AAA batteries. And they're very good for lighting up. If you're out and about on a path, lighting up the path just in front of you. So you point it down and across, and it lights up literally just in front of your feet. It's not distance at all. The other thing these are good at is because they're sort of heading towards a daylight type bulb, very good in shops to try and work out colours of things. So if you're buying clothes and you're in some shops where they're quite dark or the lighting is just a little bit weird, these are handy just to have with you, so you can just shine the torch that you know what it's like. You look at something and you go, oh, that's not the colour I thought it was. It's sort of more greeny rather than blue because the shop lighting makes it look a different colour. So it's handy to have one of those with you. If you need something to go for a distance, not that one. This is one that I got, when did I get this? Last year. Go Outdoors in Sheffield were closing in the centre of Sheffield and they had a sale, and then I bought this. This is really good. It's really bright. It shines a long distance and surprisingly wide beam, so it's excellent for walking in the dark. So if I have to go out taking our dog for a walk at 6:30 in the morning in winter when it's pitch black, it lights everything up. It's a really, really simple torch. So I always recommend torches for people as well. Just have it with you in case you need it. I know you have a torch in your smartphone. Most phones do. But I wouldn't flatten the battery with that. That's sort of an emergency light. I would always carry something else, one of these sort of things I would carry. And just have it in a pocket on the bottom of a bag. It's just there if you need it. You never know when you're going to find yourself in trouble and you go, okay, a bit more light would help and we'll sort that out. So those are useful to have. They're a good idea. Let's just switch cameras back. There we go, nice and slow. So I like those sorts of things just to have around. Like I say, not that one. So I brought loads of torches down. That larger one, I'll not switch them on because they are very, very bright. I use that. Actually, when I let our dog out at night now, and 10, 11 o'clock at night, when it's still dark, I still need a torch to be able to see what the dog's doing. So I use that one there. So they're useful things to have. So that's low-tech stuff, just simple, everyday low-tech stuff that you can buy anywhere, or pretty much anywhere. Then I've got medium tech. Now for me, oops, my phone's talking. I shouldn't have left voiceover on. Switch that off. That's it, be quiet. So, apologies for that. Medium tech. Now I've moved things like Amazon Echoes into medium tech because everybody's got them nowadays. They're very, very common. But they're still a very good device. They're very good at answering simple questions, pulling up information. Oh, I did the other day ask it what was on BBC One, and it was completely out by an hour. So I don't know what it was doing with that information. But they're useful to have. A lot of people just use them as radios or things like that, but you can connect them to a phone and you can dial people through them. So I did mine once. I had it connected to my smartphone, and it was call Joe, call Jamie, something like that. Call people I know, and you just speak through the Amazon Echo device. I'll try not to say its name in case anyone's got one. They're very useful for things like that. Now, Amazon are releasing the name Plus, I think it's called, or version 2 or something like that. That's probably going to be a proper AI, a bit like ChatGPT, Gemini from Google, Copilot from Microsoft, and the others. They are releasing a proper AI for their assistant to go on the Echo devices. Don't know how good that is yet, and it might even be paid. It might not be free, but that'll be good. Other things that I have in medium tech, again, it's sort of low tech, medium tech, is again making drinks. The 1-cup devices, very simple, very straightforward. Fill them with water. Set the amount of hot water you want, put a mug underneath, press the button. Very simple, straightforward, everyday stuff. Really nice, really easy device to use. I've got one here, I use that. Like I say, I prefer that over liquid level indicators. Something like that would be better for me than a liquid level indicator. Or like I say, just looking across the mug, turn your head on the side and look across as you're doing a drink, whether it be warm drink, cold drink, or anything. What else is there? Oh yeah, microwaves. We'll do microwaves. You can get talking microwaves. RNIB do one. It's very simple. What's it got? 4 buttons on it. That's all. Cobalt Systems do one with a lot more buttons on, but it has a lot more features built into it, and their combination of you can tell it you're doing a ready meal for one or a ready meal for doing it two, and it knows how to do that. But to save money, you can just use a standard microwave, the cheapest one you actually lay your hands on. So really cheap, really old-fashioned, like £50, £70, something like that from a supermarket. One that has a dial on it that when you turn the dial to full power and you turn the dial for the time, and what you do is you turn the dial for the power to full, you turn the dial for the time as far as it will go, which is way more than you need. Then you pick up your smartphone and go, hey, whatever, set timer 3 minutes. When the smartphone confirms the timer started, you hit the start button on the microwave and walk off with the smartphone in your pocket. So you're carrying the timer with you. You don't need expensive microwaves. You can go really cheap, as long as it does what you want, and then just use something else to set the time. Or you can use the Amazon devices or the Google Home devices, if you have one in the kitchen, to set a timer, and they'll run a timer for you. So you don't have to worry about trying to see what you're doing on the microwave. You just give up on that problem altogether. That's just too much trouble. I'll not bother. I'll actually use something that's more accurate. And then when your phone dings, you just go back, you turn the timer down to 0, open the door and take out the food. So that's done, or drink, or whatever it is. Very simple, very straightforward stuff there to do. What else is there? Let me just have a quick look. I did. Can I do? Oh, this is not going to work. I had a document with some stuff on which we can actually send out to people afterwards with some rough ideas. No, that's not working. What have we got? Simple little things. Microwaves. So you can do all that sort of stuff. That's actually just reminded me. RNIB do a nice, quite interesting idea on stuff. They've got a range of stuff called Icon. I don't know who. I think that's the company that makes them. And all these things are interlinked. So you've got kitchen scales, bathroom scales, tape measure, color detector, and a few other bits and pieces, and they all work as a sort of one thing. Your kitchen scales, you could have a device that they'll try and sell you the whole thing actually, but you can have a device that when it's with the kitchen scales, it tells you the weight that the kitchen scales are weighing. In the bathroom scales, it just reads out the weight of the bathroom scales. The tape measure, if you pull the tape measure out, it tells you how much of the tape measure you've used. But all these things can also connect to your smartphone, and you could read it off there or get it read out there on the smartphone. That looks interesting, that they've created a whole range called Icon, IKONN, I think it is. I'm sort of interested in that. It's not smart as such, but it's just a nice idea that you've got this one interface to deal with for all these different things. So I don't know how far they're going to take it. I don't know if they're going to introduce like microwaves or anything like that. But it's a nice idea that there's one interface to work with, and you just deal with it that way. Also, the stuff looks quite smart. The kitchen scales are very modern looking, just very flat. They don't look like the Cobalt ones, which are very good, but look a little bit on the old side. You can just put a plate on or a bowl on or anything on them, and they just weigh it and tell you. So that's a nice idea. So that's sort of medium tech stuff. And as everyone gets familiar with the smart tech, it sort of moves down, I think, down the scale because everybody gets used to it all. So smart tech, obviously. Now you've got, obviously, everyone knows smartphones and things like that. And where are they? I've borrowed some Meta Ray-Bans, which is the big thing at the moment. So I'll take these off and pop the Metas on. Now these are nice. There we go. Should be outside now. They're a nice idea. They're just busy sorting themselves out, so I've just taken them out there. They've just connected to my phone. Just told my battery 100%. I don't know what it's doing now. It's making funny noises for me. I don't know if you can hear anything. I doubt you'll hear anything because the speakers are just above your ear, so I can hear it quite well. I doubt anyone else can. They're a very nice idea at the moment. They're very good at describing things. They're quite good at reading things. Meta need to... The glasses themselves are actually really good. It's the back-end AI that's the problem at the moment. It's not as good as other AIs. So I've asked it for transport things. It's just not been right. So I'm waiting for that to improve, but that will improve. You know, I mean, I know for a fact that Meta, who own Facebook, are throwing tens of billions of dollars at this AI problem. They want to win that race. So they want to win this thing. But the glasses are quite good. You have a little on-off switch on the left arm on the inside to switch them on and off. You have a button on the right arm. What is it? Single press takes a picture. Long press starts the video recording. Maximum 3 minutes on these. So you can set that in the software. So I think it's 30 seconds is minimum, maximum 3 minutes. There's a touch sensitive part on the right hand side for volume control, or if you press and hold it when you're wearing them, it will initiate a command rather than going, hey Meta. And having to say that, it's listening to me now. You can press and hold and it will initiate a command, so you don't have to say it if you want to talk to it and have everybody listening to you. They have wear detection feature. I'm not sure how that works. When you put them on, it knows you've put them on. Again, it can be enabled, disabled, and then when they're put back in the case, they switch off and charge up. And the case, if you've never seen it, is there's a little USB-C charging port on the bottom. There's a pairing button on there as well. And when you close it, there's a little indicator light when it closes to show you how much charge, a rough idea how much charge is left. People say that the glasses are about 45 minutes charge. I'm not sure how accurate that is because I've only borrowed them. I've not used them that much. I like them. There are other glasses out there as well that are coming along. There's the N-Vision Ally Solos glasses, which is coming. You can actually sideload. They're working together actually. Ally can be loaded onto the Meta glasses instead. So rather than using Meta's AI, you can use the N-Vision Ally AI. That's still in beta, but it can be done. So if someone has them and you want to get into that, you can do that. There's also the, who is it now? Echo Vision glasses. I think the company's pronounced Agiga. Agiga, I think it's spelt. They actually look really quite nice. They physically look, even the case and everything looks very, very similar to the Meta ones. So I don't know how closely related they are. When you open them, everything, the style, everything looks the same. Slightly different in the button layout, and on the Agiga ones, there's a USB-C connection port in the back of the right arm, so you can actually connect it to something. Normally, that's another battery, so you can then have it maybe hooked over your ears, the cable coming down, and an extender battery plugged in as well. They're going to be more expensive. I believe they're in the $500 to $600 mark. And then there's going to be a subscription for the full AI feature. I have no idea what that will be, but probably a few $100 or pounds a year. But that allows you to have, what do they call it, live AI. So as you're going along wearing these things, the Echo Vision ones, and you're in live AI mode, oops, I just started it playing music. Whilst you're in the live AI mode, it is constantly trying to talk about what's in front of you. And that actually could be a really useful feature. I've heard that they're supposedly doing that on the Metas as well, so that might be coming to Meta. These, as I say, these things are evolving so quickly. It's hard to keep up with the way they're changing. But live AI could actually be really useful when you're out and about. And it's just telling you things. What I would also like is Soundscape that Microsoft did and is now, there's a couple of charities running 2 versions of it, is a GPS-based app for your phone that can just basically tell you what's around you, so long as it's been put into the database. So you can be walking down the street and say, on the left there's this, on the right there's this. And if you have the right headgear, that comes out in your left ear or your right ear. So actually you know which way things are. That sounds a nice idea. That sounds good. So I'd like to see that on these things as well. The other thing I'd like actually on all of these glasses, personally, and this is me just talking personally now, is the ability to change the tint on the lens without having to buy a set lens. Like these happen to be the sunglasses ones, because work bought them when they were on offer. But then you're stuck with that, so that's no good when you're inside. You want a clear lens maybe when you're inside. There are some glasses, and I've forgotten their name, but they actually are electrochromatic lens. So as you swipe your finger up and down the arm, they get lighter or darker, depending on which way you're going. And they have something like it's a long battery life, like 7-8 day battery life, might be more actually, might be a couple of weeks battery life. And you just set them as dark as you want, within the reason of what they're capable of, which I think would be really useful. I would really love that idea that I could walk outside basically with these on, and they're not photochromatic, they are electrochromatic. So I decide how dark they go. It's my decision. It's not a reaction to UV light. I'd love that sort of thing. And if that came along with these, that would be brilliant as well. Oh, the other thing with the Echo ones, the Echo Visions, as far as I'm aware, they don't do them on the Meta ones, but the Echo ones can have a clip-on tint, what do you call it? A lens on the front, and it clips on with magnets. And I think that's a great idea, because you can then buy the clear lenses, and then in the back of the case you would store your basically sunglasses tint that you want to clip on. And if the sun comes out, you pull it out of the case and the magnets grab it and pulls it on and holds it in place, and take it off when you're done. I think that's a great idea. And that's the Echo Visions do that, and I think it's something that Ray-Ban ought to pick up on. And who's the other one? Oakley, who's the other half of that same business, who do more sports related glasses, because the Oakleys are essentially exactly the same as this. It's just the design of the frame and everything like that, as far as I'm aware. But they're more sports orientated, Oakley. I believe slightly more money than the Ray-Bans. So then you've got apps on your phone. So I'm just going to grab my phone. And what apps do I use on a daily basis? For reading, I use Seeing AI. So if I need to read something, I have something described to me, I use that. I also use a new one on Apple phones, which is called Live Read. I don't think that's available on Android. I'm sorry about that, but I don't think it's been translated over yet. That is really nice because it's very, very quick. And all it does is read any text that the camera sees. The camera's on all the time, and if it sees any text, it just starts talking. That is really useful. It's very fast. And that probably is my go-to reader if necessary. If I need more detail, I might go to the Seeing AI and then line something up and then tap on the screen so it gets sent away to be processed and read out, and do it that way. That is really good. Be My Eyes, obviously, is a great one. Their AI is not bad now. That's getting quite good, but I think that's ChatGPT back end on that one. That's a really nice idea. And yeah, you just sort of take a picture with it, it processes it, and you get the information back. And it's funny, I was sat in a room at work the other day, just holding my phone up, going between the different AIs, having the end of the room described to me. And sometimes they saw curtains and sometimes they didn't, and there were no curtains there, it's just cupboards. So I don't know, they're good, but you always have to take some interpretation with what they're saying as to how accurate they are. So never absolutely trust them. Oh, the other thing I love, I don't know if Android do it, but the other thing I love on Apple is, and the reason I actually bought this phone is in the magnifier, there's a thing called Detect. And that is live real-time description of what the camera can see. And that I've actually tried in very, very dark rooms, and it guided me around tables and chairs that I couldn't see. It told me where they were, and I literally couldn't see them. Obviously not pitch black, not totally black, so it has to be a little bit of light, but it's enough light for the camera to see, but not enough light for me to see, unless I'd maybe stayed in there half an hour and got dark adapted, then I might have done well with it. And it's called Detect, and it all runs on the phone. It doesn't use the internet, and that is a simple, straightforward, get you out of trouble type thing. Don't use it to cross roads as they do with all these AIs. Don't trust them to know where real cars are and things. They all make mistakes. So be careful with anything like that. Oh, there's a new, what's it called? There's a new GPS coming. Let's get rid of that. See if I can find it. And oh, come on. No, don't do that. Easily. Like I said, there's new GPS coming, and it sounds good because it's partly involved with it. Hang on, what's that thing? TIERA. Tierra. Blind veterans are involved in the development of it. It's an internet-based GPS system, but I think part of the main part of it is it is meant to use paths, not roads. So hopefully, if you're going to, the housing estate I live on has paths that go through the housing estate that cut across the backs of houses and things like this, and gennels and ginnels and whatever you call them, alleyways. And hopefully it knows about those. And so rather than most GPS stuff routing you round by the road, which is actually how most of them work, it's all based on cars and roads. It actually is based on footfall and where you're going to walk, and it knows all the little paths that cut throughs that everybody knows, but GPS sat-nav things don't know. And that might be good. And that also sounds like it's going to have, although it's not available yet, I tried it last night, and it goes, no, coming soon, a bit like the Soundscape app built into it, so you can tap a button and it will tell you what's around you. So you've not only got your navigation, but you've also got something that can tell you, which shop's on your left, which shop's on your right, hopefully. But that's coming. That's a nice little app that I'm keeping an eye on. I only heard about it last week, 2 weeks ago. And say I think blind vets are involved in it, so they're developing that sort of stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've missed. I'm sure there's tons of stuff. Oh, yes. Hang on, try and take this off so you can see it. Smart watches. Everybody knows the smart watch is available, but that is the Synaptic smartwatch that I decided to get. And I, obviously, being me and liking technology and stuff like that, went for the Plus. Let's just put that back to that, so we can put that down there.
12:39 p.m.
So it's just at 12:39 p.m. I don't know if you'll catch that or not. It's a nice straightforward watch. It's simple, it's straightforward. If you swipe, let's have a look. If you swipe up, alarm, timer.
Chatbot.
You have a chatbot, steps, oops, goals. You can set daily goals and things like that and go up. Heart rate monitor and all sorts of things built into it. Calls, text messaging it can do. So I can actually use this as a mobile phone. Let's see what the battery is.
Battery level 90%.
90.
Saturday the 16th of May 2026.
Okay. But that has a full, essentially mobile phone built into it. So it's, like the stuff you saw as I saw as a kid on TV, where people are using things on their wrist to talk. That is it. That is, I can make phone calls with that. I can receive phone calls with that. I can send and receive text messages. All you need to do is buy the right version of it, because they do a basic version and a plus version. Pop a SIM card in it and obviously pay for the contract. So, yeah, that's me sort of going over the top. Yes, you could do that with Apple. You can do that with the Galaxy stuff and Garmin. But I like it's specifically aimed at the VI community, so I thought I'd go with it and see what it's like. The phone's quite good. It is obviously hands-free, so if you're using it, everybody can hear the conversation. So just be wary of that. But other than that, no, I quite like it. It's a nice little idea. We'll see how it runs and how it lasts and what have you. You have to charge it up every day, like most smartwatches. It would be nice actually if they could build one day that actually lasted maybe a week on a battery. That'd be handy. It'd be a nice, sweet little thing for them to do. But they don't. And I know, like I say, you can do the same thing with Apple and all that stuff. But I tried Apple and although I've got an iPhone, I don't particularly get on with the accessibility part on a watch. It just seemed a little bit too small for me. So, I gave up on that. I thought, no, I'll try something completely different. Totally left of field, brand new. Most people hadn't heard of it. And give that a go and see what they think. So I think that's it. I don't think there's much else to say. If anyone has any questions, then please shout up. We'll see if we can answer them. That is actually my job, to answer your questions, not to sit in front of you and dictate all my answers to you. And share answers amongst ourselves so we can all improve and get better, because I'm always willing to listen to you, because I will learn something off all of you every day. And then I can take that to work and pass it on to other people, or do more things like this and pass it on. So that's how I learn everything. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think if we're going to